Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So first off, I just want to say thank you to everyone that watched the last video and everybody who decided to watch the short. Absolutely insane. Thank you to everybody who subscribed, everybody checking me out for the first time. I really appreciate it. Not a pro artist, trying to become one. Again, super grateful. Thank you. God bless all ye. So today's video, not a challenge.
I beg your pardon?
If you have any challenges to suggest, I'm all ears. I am thinking about doing a no undo challenge and one layer challenge. I feel like that might be interesting to do. But yeah, if there's any other pause challenges you think would be funny for me to do, I'm happy to look into them and give it my best shot. So I keep looking down here because I do got some notes for today's video, which is going to be talking about this superhero world that I am creating, talking about my OCs. I don't know if I want to get too in-depth into everything. I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of background on some of these characters that I'm coming up with and some of the like main story points, I guess. And if you're intrigued, I would love to know whether or not you want to see me develop this into like a series, or if I should take the XanderFlicks route and turn this into a comic book. I do feel the comic book might be easier to sell, and then, you know, obviously animation. Well, I guess I should start with that. I would love to turn this into an animation, something like Invincible Dragon Ball.
Are you sure?
Somewhere along those lines. I do have a pilot script written for this universe, so maybe I'll make an animatic of that. That would be a lot less work than obviously trying to fully animate the thing, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let me introduce you to the main man himself, Nox / Max, or aka Max. I know, not super creative name, but it's what stuck with me. Yeah, this is the main guy. So basically his power is when he gets hurt, he gets super strong, like, and is able to heal from like basically any kind of injury. He does have his limits, of course. What they are, I don't know yet. I'm thinking them up as this continues to develop in the back of my mind. He glows blue, you know. And then I also have his, well, one of his best friends, who is a detective, Jenny. So she's pretty much like the Commissioner Gordon of this universe, I guess you could say, to, you know, Nox and stuff. Maybe also a little bit like in terms of Spider-Man, I guess also maybe Gwen Stacy, but not really. I'm not trying to kill her off. And then we got the scientist. We got his mom, Nox's mom, who helps him kind of develop his power. And then we have the dad, which I'm not sold on quite yet, but he's basically like Tony Stark's dad, arms manufacturer, you know, weapons, but, you know, like he does also do other stuff. In fact, he was working on a super serum, which Max may or may have not taken under obvious, you know, circumstances and stuff. And I'm torn on whether or not I should have this crazy thing where he's mind swapped with the, you know, the villain of the show, and then, you know, Nox has to like bring his dad back out of, or get the villain out of his dad's body, basically. That's what I got. You know, right now it's kind of just all up in here. I do again have a pilot episode, so if you want to see like an animatic of that to like kind of like get a better understanding of this universe, or yeah, I don't know, maybe I do go the comic book route. That way, you know, there's some kind of like story that I can get inspiration from. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's a what is the word? There's a reference, you know, and especially with the imagery, because I do want to make this an animated series. I could literally probably become like a manga artist, and then it translates into an anime, basically, you know. Whichever way ends up happening, you know, I don't know. Yeah, maybe all of you would prefer the animation. Maybe y'all would appreciate having some kind of like physical comic or something to like own of this series, you know, for in the future if if it does well. And yeah, if you want to explore this universe with me, you know, go on this journey of creating this universe, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't really care for this and you want to subscribe for more challenges, I promise you I will be doing some more of that. If you're here for me, or the, you know, just the art in general that I'm posting, you know, here for my journey as I become a pro artist, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for today's video. Again, super grateful for all of you new people who decided to subscribe and who watched my videos. This is still insane. I hope some of this was intriguing to you, at least some of the art. I'm gonna go head out, clear my mind. Pizza's on the way. Yeah. Do y'all know how crazy it would be if I were to like actually create something like this? I know this is not a comic exactly, it's a manga, and specifically like, you know, full volume or whatever, but and that would be kind of cool, no? Right? And then turns into an anime? I don't know. Why are you still here though? Like, get out of here.